I have successfully taken off all the wallpaper. It's hanging by a thread, literally. This bathroom is officially out of commission, and then the whole room has been primed as well. So here's what the room looks like right now. Ta-da! We now have a couch in here. I don't know, it's such a nice piece that I just really want to figure out what to do with it. So let's go ahead and cut those pieces of wood. Okay, so far I have cut the 2 pieces of wood. I actually decided to cut 2 pieces at 39 inches for both sides of the couch because I don't know if it's gonna look weird if one of them are longer or if it just is better if they're both the same length. So I did that, or my husband did that. And then I did decide to also have a longer shelf just in case, so that again I can kind of play with the idea of having a longer one on the right side of the couch or having 2 the same length. So we'll see. Now we're going to cut the legs. I also forgot that we had to cut the pieces for the white shelving unit. So right now we're just gonna cut this one into the 3 pieces. It's like 7 inches-ish each piece, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so this is what those pieces are for. So I have a piece of wood there just because the shelf is quite long, that it tends to dip a bit. So these are just gonna go in between. I'm just gonna have to put the camera down maybe. Oh, no, okay, there we go. So this is sliding right in, and then that way if there's any weight here, at least there's a little bit of a support beam, I guess you can call it. So I just have one more that will go in between there. Okay, so we are in the plant room. We have the shelf up here. We just push the couch forward a bit. That way the shelf can go right behind there. So that's what the next step will be. Okay, so there is the shelf. Now I just realized that I can also use this, of course, as storage for any supplies or pots that I'm just not gonna need right away. So I think this is such a good use of space as well, because you know, you saw my storage bins underneath my couch. So I have to put the pieces of wood in the middle, and then I can start putting some plants on top. Okay, not gonna lie, I misplaced my camera, so I think I left off with letting you know about the measurements for the legs of the table or the side shelves. So I think they are gonna work out really well. This one, I kind of wish it was longer now because I didn't take into consideration the amount of space that the white shelf was going to take. I mean, this one is fine because I wanted it to go right to the border, so that one's fine. But this one, I kind of wish that I had it to the border here, but that's okay. I think it was meant to be because I can put a plant that's on a stand, I can put a plant on the floor. So I have an option to have a plant here without it being in front of the closet opening. So yeah, so I did end up putting 2 plants in the back, and I think they look really good. So the one in the middle is it too dark? The middle one is my Hoya, and it's on the steel trellis. And then the 2 plants on the side, my Monstera Peru and my Syngonium albo, are on bamboo trellises. So I think it works out to have just like a wall full of foliage. And I'm still debating on what plants to put on the sides, but I definitely have to bring some more plants up and put on my lights. So let's see how much light I can have in this area with my Sensi grow lights. So one's gonna be there and one's gonna be right there. So let's do that next. Okay, so I put up this light. I didn't want to record it because you would ultimately just be seeing the back of my head. And if you do want to see how I install these, I'll leave a link in the description of the video where I actually installed these. And I just realized that I do need help. I need my husband's help because he's taller and I don't feel like getting the ladder and all of that. I just finished work, so I just want to get as many plants as I can in here because, spoiler alert, did I even say that right? Spoiler alert, there is some fun, exciting news coming, and what's happening is happening tomorrow, or the situation is happening tomorrow. So I'm trying to bring as many plants up here. So my plant room transformation is going to be put on hold for a couple of days, but ultimately the goal here is to bring as many plants up today. That way I have less plants downstairs. I think you can notice that this light keeps going down because obviously the light bulb is heavy. And I need to kind of figure out what to do with the back part. And like I said, if you did watch my other video, then you would know that I kind of tie it up on the back there, but I need a little bit of help for that. I stood on the couch to put that up, so I don't think that was a good idea, but I got it done, and I'm gonna do the same for this side and bring up some plants. Sorry if you can hear the fan in my IKEA greenhouse cabinet. I have to put it on just because I need the air to circulate. But okay, so side note, that was just a side note. But now I have both lights on. They look so sloppy and I totally agree. So ideally the cord's gonna be going to the corner and down the corner so you won't be able to see it. And then same for this one. And I have a little bit of a confession to make. I am actually also treating these plants for thrips at the same time. So before I bring them in, they are getting treated. I just haven't treated my Hoya. I think I'm just going to check it out and make sure there aren't any mealybugs. Just as a precautionary step, I'll just kind of look at it and have a little cotton swab and touch it up just in case. But my Syngonium albo is on the wall, so I don't know whether or not to chop it or let it grow on the wall because I still need to bring in my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. So stick around for that because I have a fun and interesting way to display it. I mean, it's not groundbreaking, but hopefully it's going to look really good. Obviously a little hint is that I want this to be covered in foliage, so that is my goal. I have some of my philodendrons down here, and then I still have space on that shelf, but I have to go grab a few more plants and also treat some plants, so I'll see you in a second. I'm slowly realizing that I obviously need more shelves. So one thing you should know about me and my plants is that I like to keep them spaced out. I had to learn the hard way where I know it looks cool and jungle vibes if everything is like close together and it's kind of messy but in a nice way. And just like kind of a blanket of foliage. I've learned the hard way that it's better to keep your plants separate and make them look more kind of that you intentionally put them there, if that makes sense. So it looks intentional if I have like philodendron here. It looks intentional if I have, plants that are trailing upward. So I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just, it is 10 o'clock already, but I just want it to be more intentional and make it look nice, make it less chaotic. I still have to figure out what I'm doing with this. I probably will use it just because I like the idea of using it to repot, but I still need to put up the curtain rod because I do have plants that I need to hang. So that one, my Cebu Blue, I don't know, there's just a lot of plants still downstairs that I need to bring up, but they are trailing. So even these guys behind me, so I have a Hoya, my string of hearts, my variegated string of hearts. Look at that. That's all a string of hearts, just like the regular string of hearts. And then my micans that can also be hanging off of the curtain. So quite a few plants that I can put up on the curtain rod, and then I'm thinking to do something on this side as well. So maybe use up this space here or use up the space up there. But anyways, I have to still figure that out, but I'm going to wrap up tonight because tomorrow's gonna be an exciting, fun, but long day. So I think this is where I'm gonna stop. Maybe I'll just add a couple more plants over here, but I do need a spot for 2 plants that I already mentioned that will go here. So other than that, I will probably just clean up downstairs. So I did end up bringing a couple more plants up. So if you notice, I put my Synapsis Silver Splash that's on the trellis here. I don't know, I kind of like it there, I kind of don't, just because it kind of touches on the style of these. But I like how it took up a bit of space up here because it was just really blank unless I put a shelf up here. So I like that idea. And then over here, I ended up putting my Monstera Adansonii wide form because it's also trailing upward. So I figured it would complete the back here. But I do also have one more space there. I do have one more stool downstairs to use. By the way, I don't even know if I mentioned that, but I improvised with what I had. So I have a stool there, and then I think I'll have space for the other stool there, pretty sure. And if that's the case, then I will probably put, I actually don't even know if I want to keep this plant. It's the Philodendron subhustatum. So there's a few plants that I'm actually debating on getting rid of, like selling, just because, I don't know, I just don't take care of them as well as I should. And obviously I'm sure someone else would enjoy them more. So anyways, so one more plant there. You may be sick of seeing this, but so far this is what it looks like if I were to sit on the couch. Let me just fix this pillow like that. I still have to take off the tags. It's not like I'm gonna return them anyways. Oh, let me fix the lighting. Oh, there we go. So that's what it looks like. I love it. And the floor looks amazing. You can see that I already have my storage bins underneath there. I could probably push them back a bit more, but anyways, this is what it looks like for now. And yeah, so I still have to bring up a lot of plants and some other stuff. Okay, so I need to bring in the dresser or shelving unit that I had in the middle of the room and put it into the closet. Right now it's in the bathroom, so that's the next thing we need to bring into the room. Ta-da! This is the magic of filming. Now we have a dresser in the closet. So I think this is going to work out really well because the drawers are not going to take up space out here when you're walking around, or if I want to put a table or something like that. So this is going to be the storage space. And I have this thing with putting stuff in the closet aside from clothes, but I think the biggest piece is because this room is a plant room. Obviously it's not a bedroom yet, so I'm not going to put the doors back on. If you remember, there was one door here, but I kept the other one off, so now I'm going to keep them both off just so that there's nothing blocking the walkway here, because the other one would kind of stick out a bit. So yeah, I'm going to organize the drawers in a separate video or a separate time, but right now I'm going to put more supplies in here and I think it's going to work out really well. I just have some random stuff there, so I'll have to figure out what I'm going to use there, but I can put like trellises on the side or here, something like that. So, and then I have a shelf up here and there's also a rod. So quite a few things that I can use for storage or for space saving, but ultimately I am happy with the decision of putting this into the closet. That way I have more space out here. All right, now let's move these two long vining Rhaphidophora tetraspermas back into the plant room. Well, if you ever wanted to know what maybe 25 feet of Rhaphidophora tetrasperma look like, this is what it looks like on the floor and on my couch. I brought the two plants in because what I want to do is kind of decide where I want to place them. I have a really fun idea. Make sure you stay tuned because I'm going to show you my kind of vision of what I want to do with these plants, because they're just so long and they're a piece of art, right? I don't really see a lot of Rhaphidophora tetraspermas this long and healthy. So yeah, we will together put this somewhere. Again, I don't want to give it away because I want you to stick around and hopefully it will look good. Okay, so I brought some stuff into the room that I'm going to organize in the closet here. It's not going to be perfect right now because I definitely have to go through things, figure out what I use and what I don't use and what I want to keep, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to organize it a little bit and then I'll show you kind of what the setup will be. Okay, this is what I have so far in the closet. It doesn't seem like much, but it's actually quite a bit of supplies, so I definitely have more space to work with than I thought. But I'm just gonna kind of show you what I have in here already. So up here on this shelf, I have some miscellaneous stuff in there that were in these cubbies, so I don't really need what's in there. I'm gonna probably bring it downstairs after I record my video. This container has some small glass jars. This cover pot has some plastic containers in there, and there are some miscellaneous supplies here, like for school that I still have. So I just keep it up there just in case, because they're pens and stuff like that, papers, whatever. And this is a little wood box that I could use for something if I want to do a DIY shelf or whatever. So I'm gonna keep it there. And then up here is a sneak peek of some supplies that I will be using for the mural wall, which is right here when you enter the room. So if you see what it is, you may have an idea of what I'm gonna be doing. Now down here, so the first level, I guess, when you look at the closet, there is this big container which I keep closed because it is soil amendments that are already open. There's also pots and other supplies that if I need them, I can grab them, and it's a clear container so I know exactly what's in it. And then whatever is not open, I'll probably keep up here, or I can move them here, wherever. Like, I'm just trying to figure out because they are quite big, so once they're open, I can get another container like this and I can just stack them, to be honest. And then beside this container, I have a smaller container with already pre-mixed soil with a bunch of amendments. So I keep this separate, and then I have my scoop and some saucers that I don't want to forget that I have, and then just some smaller pots that are easily accessible. And then over here, I was able to hang some stuff on the rod, so my watering can and some hooks for some hanging planters. A random vintage puzzle that I actually bought in Calgary when I went out there. If you saw on my Instagram, I shared some pictures there. So it's 1,000 pieces. I'll have to get to that soon. And then because this shelf had a little bit of a lip at the bottom, it's not completely against the wall. So I was able to put this trellis and a smaller trellis, a bamboo stick, and I was also able to put one of those pot surfaces that are on wheels. I don't even know what they're called, but it's in there anyways, if you care. And then in between the wall and the shelf, my little trash can fits perfectly. So if I need to put any garbage in, it's accessible. Whoops, that was a lot louder than I thought. So that's super accessible, which I love. And then my potting mat is right here. So it's something that obviously I'll grab and use frequently when I repot plants. And then this is my caddy with a bunch of stuff, which is actually a mess right now. But if I put it up against the drawers, it actually is flush to the wall, which is fantastic. So whenever I'm in here, if I need to move it and put it in the middle of the room or whatever, then I can do that. But yeah, that is super helpful. I'll definitely have to organize that because there are some supplies that I probably can put away in the drawers. But anyways, that's that. I think I mentioned everything. Oh, I guess in the drawers, they are a mess, so I'm not gonna show you them, but I have some terracotta pots, plant supplies, some reused or recycled items as well in here, and then some random paperwork. So I definitely could use the drawers more efficiently, but I'll have to kind of tackle that separately because I wanna be able to label things or put them in containers just so that it's a little bit more organized and easy to grab. So anyways, this is kind of in the future, but I think I'm happy with how it looks like right now, and I can see everything. Like I said, I still have a lot of space. I'll probably put some more stuff in these little compartments, and what I can do here is stack some containers here, or I can actually put a shelf up here if I really wanted to, as an option to optimize the space, but I do still have the rod there, so I could hang more stuff if needed. But yeah, that is the closet.